How's it going, everyone? I'm your host, Big D, and it's time to review Aquarius. And of course, I love the original X-Files guys, and of course, we have Mulder, David Duchovny back on the big, or I should say, small screen. He's the perfect thing for TV, man. He is born to be on TV, and this is his latest one on NBC. Sometimes NBC shows don't last long. I don't know if this show's meant to be multiple seasons or just one season, but so far this is a spoiler review for the first two episodes, the series premiere of Aquarius. Of this, of course, episode 1 titled Everybody's Been Burned, and episode 2, The Hunter Gets Captured by the Game. Now, this is spoiler reviews. If you have not seen the episode, go to nbc.com/Aquarius, watch the full episode there, and watch both of them, man, because if you have not seen it, what are you doing? If you love what was a time period, set pieces back from the original, like 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, back then, that's the best, man. Those are the best type of shows, and if you love, 60s music, you're gonna love this show, let me just tell you that much. And David Duchovny, now, excuse me if I'm getting his name wrong, but David Duchovny, badass, man. Alright, let's get right to it, guys. I'm going to talk about the first episode, Everybody's Been Burned. I'm just going to take me less than 2 minutes. I'm just going to tell you, just to refresh your mind, if you've seen it, just refresh it, tell you my opinions on it as the way, and then pros and cons, final score. Then go to episode 2, tell you what happened, opinions, pros, cons, final score. That's how it works here, guys. So, again, thank you for joining me, and let's get started. Let's do this. I always take long on the intros, I'm sorry. Forgive me. So, Charlie Manson meets Emily, basically, and at this party, Emily sneaks out of her house, and she goes with her boyfriend, Rick, to this party, and that's where Charles Manson is, and he basically kind of recruits her in a way. He kind of talks, he dives deep into her brain, and he's like, hello, Emily. I have to figure out how he talks. It's been a couple hours since I've seen it. He has that southern type of voice, hello, Emily, and basically he says, how do you know my name? I can read people. And everything. So Grace calls Sam. Grace is Emily's mom, and Sam Kodiak is David Duchovny, our main character, and Sam is to help find Emily. So Brian, we meet this character named Brian. He's an undercover cop or narco. He basically, he's supposed to look like he fits in with all the drug people and everything, but he's actually a cop undercover. So he gets checked because he has this gun and everything. He's gonna help out this guy. Like, this cop's being too rough with the guy. He's like, hey, take it, man. He has a gun. And basically he gets checked. He now partners with Sam back at the station, and they're questioning Rick. They get Emily's boyfriend, and basically, yeah, they question him, and there's a part where like in the 60s, they were barely getting the Miranda rights, and Sam didn't know the Miranda rights. He was like, you have the right to remain silent. What was it? Or else I'll, knock you out in your face. And he's like, so basically Brian's like, oh, I go to the payphone. It's like, yeah, damn it. So he goes and does that, and that's where Brian gets information out of him and everything, and they get this guy's named Charlie. So that's what they got out of that. Emily is, with a bunch of the girls that Charles has with him, and they say, let go of everything, let go of the past, and it's just kind of scary and creepy. So I just love this, man. The wise words of Manson. He has some pretty wise words, though. Some are pretty bad. I'm not talking about writing, but he's a bad person, but some wise words. It's all love. Come on now, we're all brothers and sisters here. It's all love. Let's spread the love, you know what I'm saying? So why not? Anyway, they get weed from Mikey. Mikey was the guy that was with Brian when he just laughed. He's the kind of drug dealer, and Sam's playing the guitar and everything. It's just so funny. They add those comedy humor into there. So Brian and Charmaine is also this girl who works at the police station, and she goes undercover. They're at a party, basically, where Emily was taken, that party, and they got Manson's name. He was talking to this guy, and he's like, oh man, she's talking about this Charlie this, Charlie that. Who's this Charlie? Charlie Manson. What is he, some type of god or something? Nah, man. He's just a man. He's really cool, man. Totally. He writes some good songs and all that. I'll introduce you, man. Basically that type of thing. So, anyway, we're almost done here. We're already past half the episode. He trips his right-hand man down the stairs. That goes on. Literally, the guy was going to go take and, like, fuck Charmaine. He was like, yeah, baby, how about we come in? I'll take you to Charlie. He lets me test all his product, you know, type of thing. But whatever. So they find out that his name is Charles Manson. He has a lot of records. I mean, rape, murder. He went to jail for like 7 years. So they have a lot. And Manson is trying to reach Ken Karn is basically the dad of Emily. And I love how he calls his business and he's like, hello, is Khan there? No, sorry, he's not. Do you need to, do you want him to reach you? Oh, don't worry. I will reach him. I was like, that's pretty intense. So we find out that Khan was his lawyer. And Manson scares him and he kind of like almost wants to rape him in a way. Like, it's really that creepy, intense. And he's like, this car comes, he's like, that's a mood killer. And he has a knife. He literally has it, and he kind of cuts him a little bit, not like intensely, but it's enough where, yeah, he's bleeding. And he wants to spread a message. Basically, he wants to get a record out. Like he has an acoustic guitar. He sings. He doesn't have his guitar tuned that well, man. He's not the greatest thing, but basically he says, well, I'm gonna bring Emma next time. How about that? We could get freaky deaky. You know, that's where it just crosses the line and he walks away. So overall, what did I think about this first episode of Everybody's Been Burned? Real quick, it's very quotable, man. I'm going to get to my pros first. But I'll get to after quotable in a little bit. But the last shot where it shows Manson walking away and it has the music in the background. I forgot what it I forgot what was it. I have no idea. But, man, just the last shot and the way it was filmed and him walking away, that was really well done. The set pieces where we go in this show and the 60s, it's not easy to recreate the 60s. And I've never been in the 60s, but I've seen a few 60s movies and 60s type of set pieces. And yes, it seems very accurate. Those who have been there and, lived, please tell me if that seemed accurate to you. The music in here, dude, it was hit after hit after hit after, Hippie and Painted Black, Rolling Stones, man, and it just goes on and on and on. The Who, I can see for miles, man. Beautiful. I got me singing along. I thought it was a musical at first. The acting in this show is very good for it. It's not great, but David Duchovny, the way he's been portraying Sam, we don't see a lot of Sam in this episode for a main character of Aquarius, more of Charles Manson, and just the actor who plays Charles Manson is fantastic playing that role. He dives deep. You see his reaction, his body reaction. Everything he does is spectacular. Also, the guy who plays Brian and Mikey, just all of them together, they are amazing supporting characters. Charmaine, we don't know a lot about these characters at first, but the way that they're used and the way that they're written, very well done. The camera angles, there's some really cool camera angles in here. Not something like, oh wow, but just I love the way that, the sun and on David Duchovny and everything, just his character. So it's creepy, very creepy, and it's funny. There's humor to it. Even Charles Manson had some humor to it also. And the writing, and again, it's very quotable. Me a little thing, just all that, and basically the style of the show and the tone. It's still finding its tone, of course, but come on, it's pretty awesome. The first episode's pretty awesome. Excuse me. My cons. There's only two cons really. Now, it's a little bit slow. Yes, there are little slow scenes. Nothing really boring. Nothing really bored me. Just the first 20 minutes were just, compared to the last 30 minutes, it was slow. So, just kind of like dragging where it was kind of like, okay, I like what's going on, but it's kind of, pick up the pace. Oh, good music. Okay, keeping me there. Also, they're trying to do this love story. Not love stories. They're not trying to bring love back into it, but Grace, Emily's mom, used to date Sam. And that thing's going on where a love story that where they're trying to do with Grace and Sam. Honestly, I don't want to see no love story unless it's with Manson and his women. I don't want to see Sam get in a love relationship or anything or back to that thing. I'm not ready for it yet. We're only on episode 1, so take your time with that. Don't rush it or anything. Don't even try to force it on us. There was just one scene, I believe, where she offered him a drink and he was like, "I'm on duty." It's like, we could be dealing with other characters right now and you're wasting your time on this. Don't do that. So overall, for the first episode, Everybody's Been Burned, I give it a solid A. Nothing really wrong with it. The lighting, the directing, the acting, the writing of the dialogue, I'm saying, the set pieces, the music, it's funny, it's intense. Very well done for a series premiere of episode 1. Now, episode 2, the hunters get captured by the game. I'm sorry it takes so long, guys. I'm going to just rush through it real quick. Pros and cons. So, Karn is lying to Grace and Sam, basically saying that, like, "Oh, yeah, I'm bleeding from my throat. Yeah, I just, someone attacked me. I hit him with my suitcase. I don't see nothing on the suitcase of bruises on it. I don't see it scratched." And he doesn't seem phased now that Sam knows Charles Manson took your daughter. "Really? I never heard of him." "Really? Because you used to be Alyssa's lawyer." "Oh, a long time ago. He's a bad liar. Karn, you're gross." So we see this guy named Leo. His wife Joyce was found dead. It's kind of like a crime investigation going on. And there's this moment where what's his name? Charles, he's talking to Emma and he's like, "This is your moment." And basically Emily tries to steal and the guy captures her or catches her in the act when she's trying to leave, and Manson comes in and he ends up slicing his eyes where he can't see. I mean, it's super intense and super brutal, and he blinds him. So we find out Leo killed his wife, Joyce. He killed her. And they arrest this guy named Bungie, at least I believe. They end up arresting him, and he's black. He's African American. And it's the 60s, so it's kind of more of a racial thing. And if you're not into racial things, like if you're really like... I'm not racist. I'm not, but... if you guys are really like... what's it called? You don't take racism so well, this show's not for you then, because it's going to be really racist throughout the whole season. I just want you guys to know that. We find out a waiter is a snitch, and they wrote snitch on his forehead. Manson, and he needs $2,000, so he asks Karn for that at his party, and Grant grabs him, and he's like, "Oh, you don't want to go crazy now in front of all your guests, please." So Emma is his cherry pie. Oh, sweet slice of pie. I love cherries. You are my cherry. So, okay, that's good. Okay. Well, I think you know what it means. Anyway, Sam's son returns. He guess he's AWOL. Leo's wife got him 2 ballet tickets because he has like 6 months to live. Leo, I guess he has cancer, and he killed his wife because sometimes they get in your stop talking, woman. Oh, I killed you. Oh shit. Oh well. And no, don't kill your wife, please don't. There's better ways to handle this. Look at Ben Affleck and Jennifer Garner for advice. So, yeah, it's so sad. I started to cry. It's 2 ballet tickets and everything. I was like, no, you jerk. You killed your wife. She was so nice. And, yeah. So, he's going to let Leo go and everything because, of course, they're framing Bungie on it, the black man in the next room. And there goes Leo. He's like, thank you for doing this. You're under arrest. He's like, oh yeah, I just need your confession, blah blah blah, all this. And Sam's a dick. He's a dick sometimes. He played him basically. Brian has a wife, and she's an African American. He also has a daughter, and Sam finds out, and he's like, he's a little bit racist. Not racist. He has some black friends. He's not racist, but for what he did to Bungie and everything right after that, it's kind of awkward. It's like, oh, African American family. Okay. Well, okay. Cool. So Sam visits his ex-wife, and he's angry, dude. He's just like, you wrote a letter to our son so he could come home? Is that it? And she's like, what are you gonna do? Arrest me? And I was like, oh no, no business. Oh no. The way she talked to him like that, she was just like, he's dirt. It's disgusting, man. Anyway, Manson makes love to Karn. Yes, he makes love to Emily's dad. And he's like, my candy can. And Emma almost walked in on them, but that moment when he kisses him, I was like, what? It's a good episode. I like this one. This one's really nice. Okay. Let me rewind that a little bit. Oh, yeah. So, I was basically like that. I was enjoying myself, man. So, I never knew that Manson was like that. Wow. It's creepy. Very creepy. I'm not saying the gay wise. I'm just saying, like, it's Emily's dad. Okay. Okay. He's an older man. Whatever. Okay. So my cons for this episode, guys, is there's some slow moments in there, like the first one. There are a little bit of slow moments, and I was really disappointed that he asked for money for the demo, but we never got to see him record. Of course, we'll see him the next episodes do the demo, but I really wanted him to, like, full on, okay, go do the demo, sing, I want to hear that thing. And in this episode, there was no demo. Also, the whole snitch thing, it just took time away from the storyline, the continuous storyline that could be going on, writing snitch and everything. It just took time. It did. And I know it'll play a part in the next episode, but still. The whole son thing being AWOL, honestly, I feel like they're just forcing that storyline in, trying to show that Sam has a lot of more things to carry on his shoulder, a bunch of weight. He has to deal with this Manson thing and Emily and Karn, and he has to deal with just everyday life, and now you have his son who's AWOL and his ex-wife who's being a really stuck-up bitch, and it's just not the way life should be lived. So that sucks for him. My pros now, the ending, like their endings for Aquarius is really, really cool. So Manson and him, that was a shocking ending. And I gotta tell you, there's about 3 or 4 good scenes where they're a WTF moment in this episode. Episode 2 is the big what the fuck moment, man. I was like, whoa, really? I mean, just top moments again, like when Brian's wife, that was oh, what? Dude, Brian, you silver-tongued devil, you're a rebel, you're a rebel without a cause. Oh, yes. The writing and dialogue for the characters with the police, or, you see police getting mad at Charmaine, he's like, oh, let's go. Come on, hey, McFly, are you in there, McFly? That he didn't do that, but it was kind of mostly like that. He's like, Charmaine, you in there? Come on, let's go. Do you hear me? Let's go. It's like, dude, calm down, man. This ain't Agent Carter. Hey, Peggy, why don't you get me some coffee? Yeah. Also, go get me a sandwich downstairs too, Peggy. Also, Peggy, yeah, give me the newspaper from downstairs, because you're just a secretary here. Giggity. It's basically, that's how Agent Carter was. No, Agent Carter's a great show, but I'm saying, that's how people used to treat women in the 50s and 60s. It's just disgusting. Stop it, guys. And I still see people today in high school, and they're like telling their girlfriend, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, no, equal rights, guys. Come on. Seriously. We're all brothers and sisters here. She's my bae, you're my bae, you're my bae, man. Come on. We're all brothers and sisters in Christ. Let's squeeze in here. Squeeze in here right now. Yes, indeed. So basically, that's how we did it. And the music again. The music really works really well in here. I mean, that's one thing about Aquarius. I come back each week. The music. Also, the action. Not the action, excuse me, the acting again. Charles Manson, the actor who plays him, just did it so amazingly well. And he's just even more creepy in this episode. And I don't like Charles Manson, the real man himself, but the actor who really portrays him, where he's a sick man, but he's kind of likable. He's kind of likable, and you're falling under his spell. Falling under his spell a little bit. I don't know what is going on here, man. I don't understand. He arrested Leo I did not expect that. That was a big WTF moment also. I was like, Sam is a... He played him, and then there comes Bungie. He's like, you know what? You're gonna burn, Mr. Kodiak. Here, you keep my tie. Where were you? You know, Leo was... I mean, again, Leo, and also when he was in the house, where were you? Oh, I thank you, officers, because you were here when I was getting robbed, when I was getting mugged. You were here for everything. My wife and I thank you. Basically, he's BSing. It's not true. Again, it's creepy, and the stealing scene. That's one of the highlights of the episode 2 is when she stole from the clothing and that. And again, the set pieces on where we're at, where we go, it just looks so accurate to the 60s in the timeline. So overall, I'm going to give this episode 2, The Hunter Gets Captured by the Game, a B+. It's an okay. It's good. Excuse me. It's not bad. It's not great. It's just good. So again, episode 1, Everybody's Been Burned, at A. Episode 2, B+. The episode 1 was awesome. It was great. No problems. Just a little tidbit there. That's it. But episode 2 had a few problems, but for the most part, it's good. This show's worth watching. If you just spoiled it for yourself, please, no, go watch it right now. And thank you guys so much for watching. Hope all of you enjoyed. Comment down below. Let me know, what do you think about Aquarius. And I'm sorry I took so long. I don't like when they're 2-hour premieres. I don't. I dread it. I'm like, oh, here comes an 18-minute video. I want it just to be a 5-8 minute video, 10 minute, 12 minutes, not 18, 20 minutes. So I don't know how long I took. I'm sorry if I took long. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you do or say will be used against you in the court of law. You have a right to an attorney, lawyer. If you cannot afford one, one will be given to you by the court of law. Blah 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 blah. Police stuff. I don't care. Anyway, yeah, Aquarius, guys, check it out, because let the sun shine in. Am I right? Until next time, may the spot be with you.